In this tutorial, I'll be sharing with you how to cut and sew this very simple but beautiful handkerchief flare skirt. So if you're a beginner, this tutorial is definitely for you because it is very simple and very easy to make. And by the way, if you are interested in the tutorial of any of this blouse that I'm putting on, please let me know in the comment section so that I can send you the link. Without wasting much time, guys, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and let's get right into this tutorial. So guys, for this skirt, I made use of this fabric, and this is 60 by 60 length of fabric. You will also need another fabric or the same fabric for your band, and you will need a 1 inch elastic. This material, I don't know the name of this material. I just bought it as one of those material, and it is just 60 by 60 inches. So that's what I have here. For the material, it is not transparent and it does not look like a silk. It's thicker than a silk. So let me just call it maybe a satin. So this is on fold and this material is I think 29.5 on fold, and this other length too. So this other length too, it is also about 29.5. Let me just approximate to 30 inches. So that's why I said this is 60 by 60 inches. So depending on the length you are making, you can need shorter than this or longer than this. But to get a fabric that is longer than 60 inches is very hard to get. So this length is 60. So guys, I went ahead to fold this into four as if you want to cut a 360-degree flare. So this is how I did it. So all sides are the same. So if I measure this side, it is 29.5. The other side too is 29.5, because you know this fabric is not equal. That's why I'm using 29.5 instead of the 30 inches. So this is folded into four, just like a square, as if you are cutting a flare. So this is what you will do. So as you can see how I folded it. So at this edge here, that's where we'll cut our waist. But let's do a little calculation for the waist. My actual waist measurement, my waist circumference is 24 inches. Because I'm adding an elastic band, so I'm adding extra 12 inches to my waist. So that's making my waist 36. Now to get the radius of our cycle, that's your waist circumference over 2 pi, and 2 pi is 2 times 3.142. So this pi is just like for calculation of a cycle. If you are into mathematics, you will understand this better. But if you are not, just put your waist circumference at the top. That's my own with the ease allowance is 36 divided by 2 times 3.142. So that's 6.284. So when you divide this, you have 5.72. So what I did was to move this close to a figure I can measure. So you can either do 5.5 or you can just round it up to 6. But I'm using 5.5 because if I usually when I use 6, it's always more than, if I measure the waist circumference, it will be more than 36 inches. But if I use 5.5, I will get the accurate waist measurement. So I'll be using 5.5 for the waist circumference of my cycle. So going over this calculation again, my waist was 24. I added 12 to make it 36. And then to get the radius of this our cycle that we are cutting, you have to do your waist circumference divided by 2 pi, and 2 pi is 2 times 3.142. So after getting your measurement, if you have 5.5 direct, you can just use it. But if your measurement is like mine, that is 5.72, you can bring it down to 5.5 or increase it to 6. But when you increase it to 6, just know that the waist circumference will also increase. So it won't be 36 again. But using 5.5, I was able to get accurate 36. So let's measure. So just measure 5.5 like that from the tip, like that, all through. Before I forget, in case you want to use exactly my measurement, I will tell you what the skirt length will be, because this is just all the fabric I have, so I just have to make do of this. So I will tell you what the length was very soon. So now connecting all these points together and measuring what I have exactly 36. So I have 9 inches here, and you know this is folded into 4, and 9 times 4 is 36. So if I had used 6 inches, it would be more than 36. It will be about 40 or so. So now to we'll be adding half inch at the top here because we'll be joining this to a band. So you have to add the half inch there. So now I'll go ahead and cut after that half inch. So guys, in case you are following my measurement and everything, so this is what the remaining skirt length will be. So I think I have about 25, 24 inches here. So this will be the shortest part of the skirt. You know, it is an handkerchief flare, so the shortest part will be 24 inches. So that's for the my measurement. You know, my measurement is 29 and a half by 29 and a half. So I'm left with 24 inches, and that's if your waist is even close to mine, or you want to use a waist of 36 inches. So after cutting, make sure you notch all these points, just notch them. Now the flare is ready, and this is what it is looking like. You can't actually see it right here, but this is what it looks like. So guys, this is my band, and this band here is 3 inches, and it is 3 inches because I'm using a 1 inch elastic band. When I fold, I have 1.5, and I'll be joining with half inch to this skirt, so I'm left with 1 inch space, which I'll be using for the elastic. So I'm trying to measure my waist again, but instead of wasting time and measuring the waist, just use the 36 inches you calculated. So that's what you will use. So you measure your 36 divided by 2 on your band, then you add half inch to join the band together. You know, there'll be a joining on the band. So just measure 18.5. That's if you are using my waist, if you are using 36, measure 18.5, then you sew with half inch over there. After sewing, I went ahead to also iron this down, and this is what it is looking like. So the next thing I will do is to fix the band to the skirt. So I'll be fixing it like this because I'll be weaving the edge later. So you go ahead and fix it round, but you leave an opening of about 1 inch that you will use to fix your elastic. So guys, after fixing it, this is what I have. The next thing is to pass in our elastic. So for my elastic, whatever your actual waist measurement is, just deduct about 3 to 4 inches away. You know, I was working with a waist of about 24. That was my initial waist. So now to cut this elastic, I'll just deduct about 3 inches away from it. So that means I'll be cutting 21 inches. So guys, I will insert my safety pin into the elastic, then I'll pass it round the waist. So guys, after passing the elastic, it's now time to sew on top of this elastic. See the way I place them together? You sew on top like twice on top, and make sure this elastic is not twisted in the waistband. So after sewing and fixing it inside, I also went ahead to just sew the parts remaining, that small part that I left to pass the elastic. I went ahead to secure it. Then the next thing I'll be doing now is to hem all around the skirt. So I'll be aiming with just half inch round the skirt. So you do it all around. It will be like a four corner. So just go ahead and aim it. So guys, after aiming and ironing, this is what the skirt is looking like. This is what it looks like here. So this is the edge. You can't actually see what it looks like except I put it on, and I know you've seen that already. So that's how the skirt look. So thank you so much for watching. If you haven't liked this video, please like, comment, share, subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.